Hi everybody and welcome back to the KK Zone. As always, I am Kara Kaufman and this is Wednesday. It is March 31st. It is the final day of March and the final day without baseball. That's right, you've done it. We've all made it. Good job, team. Tomorrow is opening day. I cannot wait. As a special treat today, it's not just my face you're going to be staring at on this video. I have a friend, my good buddy RJ Hatanaka, a real live Blue Jays fan from Canada and everything, so you know he's legit. Took the time very kindly to chat with me on Zoom last night about our teams. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a rather long conversation, I'm not gonna lie to you, and we could have gone for 3 times as long. We chat about both of our picks for the American League East, about the Blue Jays' fun young stars, about the Yankees' rotation, about mascots, stadiums, you name it, we talked about it. And the debut of a new fun segment, the match-up game, which I hope you enjoy. Something else I'll be tracking throughout the season as I do these getting to know you segments with, hopefully, fans of the other teams the Yankees are going to play. But today, in anticipation of tomorrow's home opener at 1 p.m. in the Bronx against Toronto, here is Getting to Know You, the Blue Jays, featuring the wonderful RJ Hatanaka.
All right. RJ, thank you for joining me. I'm so lucky to have you today, a real life Blue Jays fan in Canada.
I feel very lucky to be here because I love talking baseball and you're great. And let's do it. Let's get into it.
Right back at you.
So are you going to be able to catch the first game here?
I hope so. I took off work. I switched shifts, actually, more accurately, and now it's probably going to rain. So with my luck, I'll be at work on Friday.
Oh.
So fingers crossed. Come on, rain gods.
Are they playing in, I guess it's Dunedin. Dunedin or New York?
Bronx.
In the Bronx. Cool.
Probably be a better chance of it not raining in Dunedin, but.
Probably. I know it'll be interesting to see how they do in Dunedin this year because it's weird. I mean, the Raptors, I don't know if you're a basketball fan, but the Raptors they've been just terrible this year.
They have been bad, like surprisingly.
I know.
Well, that's actually, I had that on my list of things to talk about. So, I mean, they played last year in Buffalo, which was weird. And I mean, I watched a lot of those games. It felt like it played very differently than a major league park in a lot of ways.
Small. I think it played really, really small. But I was just thinking about that. I mean, I don't really like if your home park is a really small. I don't know. I was talking about Coors Field and like these different fields that the ball flies differently and how big of an advantage that would be to play there 81 times a year. But I don't know too much about the Dunedin field.
Yeah, I was going to ask because I haven't been able to watch a lot of spring training because, you know, work, middle of the day stuff. And I hadn't really noticed how that plays. I heard reports that they'd spruced it up nicely and it felt like nice for the players, but.
I mean, it's Florida too. So I think some fans are going to go. Like, I think that some people will go. But yeah, it'd be good.
I'm interested to, yeah, because also we're not sure how long they're going to be there. As far as I can tell, they announced they're going to be there until like May 6th or something, and then shrug.
It's going to be longer because Canada is really discouraging people from traveling.
Smart.
I think for sure. And I think until enough people are vaccinated, which is we're kind of a little bit behind here, it seems. I think that they just won't.
Frankly, I feel like it's a good choice and I approve. And usually I feel like Canada makes good decisions and things like this. So, you know.
Yeah, for sure. It's you know, it's a bummer that because the Rogers Center is such a cool place.
I've never been.
Retractable roof, and it's just I mean I spent so much time there as a teen and yeah, just kind of a special place. Yeah.
So tell everybody who's not me, and also me, I guess, how did you become a Blue Jays fan?
My grandfather is big into baseball. He's 93 at the moment. He and I speak pretty much every day. We talk baseball every day. He watches every game, and I watch as many as I can. So we talk about it every day. And so growing up, we'd play catch and things like that. And my dad was also a professional athlete in his own right. He played football, but he was also a big baseball fan, and we're a big sports family. And so my brother and I both grew up playing high-level baseball, and we're close in age, so we had each other and best buds. So yeah, so it just was always kind of part of my life. And then when I was a teenager, when I was 16, I got a call to say like, hey, the Blue Jays are looking for a new ball boy. Are you looking for a summer job? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I went down that afternoon to the Rogers Center and played catch on the field with some of the clubhouse guys and talked to them and interviewed. And it was like within a few hours, I was on the field playing catch. I was like, so cool.
So cool.
And then I got the job. And so I started that April, and I did that job for almost 6 years, because 5 seasons plus the World Baseball Classic.
That's unbelievable. You must have infinite stories. I mean, I'm sure.
I mean, that was the tail end of Carlos Delgado's career. That was Vernon Wells right in his prime. That was Roy Halladay. And a lot of those guys, John McDonald, who was a utility infielder for the team, and he's just one of my all-time faves. And yeah, it was, I have such fond memories of the whole experience, but after school, especially in those years, like 16, 17, 18, which I think can be pretty like angsty years and a really big period of development, going to the park every day. And I was actually just talking about this with my British buddy, and I said shagging fly balls. We were talking about this, and I was like, I had no idea what that was. And so he was like, what?
Gross.
About, and what do you do? So, but yeah, going and checking some flies in the outfield, just really fun memories. Yeah,
I bet something about the routine of the ballpark is part of what draws me to baseball, and I imagine for you as a teenager,
you're just the only one out there, right? Because it's early hitting, and you do all your work, and there's a lot of like, that job has a lot of, you set out the towels and you're cleaning shoes at the end of the night. You're there from 1 p.m. until 1 a.m. really. But then you're on the field, just you, and these major league hitters are hitting home runs and pop flies, and you're catching them just running around. It's like, it was perfect. A great way to grow up.
That's unbelievable.
I think also, like, just on a side note, kind of lends itself pretty well to the industry that we found ourselves in. Like, it's and the buzz of that atmosphere and that whole thing,
Right. Yeah, RJ and I met doing a show together in the theater.
New York, perfect.
Just, artists living the dream during a pandemic. That's amazing. Do you think, I'm sure you could tell stories about the ballpark for hours and hours, but is there one special memory that stands out to you from that time, or one, I don't know, piece of advice someone gave you, something that really just sticks with you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of the guys were really, really great to me. And but John McDonald, so I spoke about my grandfather. He and I used to go on baseball trips to different ballparks, right? Mm-hmm. So we went down to New York one year. We went to Fenway one year. We went to US Cellular and Wrigley in Chicago, and then to the Indians field that Progressive, I think it's now called.
Yeah.
Used to be Jacobs, right?
Yeah.
Progressive field. So when we were in Chicago, which was our first trip, we went with a busload of people from Toronto. We drove down to Chicago. We got there to see the Jays play the White Sox. And at that game, I told Johnny Mac that we were going to be there. And so he came over to us in the stands in BP, and he was like, come on. And I was like, and so we hopped over the side. We were in the outfield. We hopped over the side. And my grandfather, who's like in his, I guess, 80s at that point, late 70s, early 80s, John walked us across the field, like, with all the hitting going on and like all the people wondering who we were. And I just thought that was like the nicest thing. And we got to the clubhouse. He brought us in the visitors clubhouse, said hi to all the guys, got to introduce my grandfather to all these people. And then we got on the bench, and John Gibbons, who was the manager at that time, he was like, hey, can I take your picture in the bench? So manager, Gibby, he took a picture of my grandfather and I with Johnny Mac. And it was just like a really sweet family thing, and just really generous from Johnny Mac. So I'm sure I'll reconnect with him one day and be able to thank him properly now that I'm a proper adult. But yeah, just there's a lot of instances like that where people just kind of go out of their way, and they're there making a lot of money and playing a great game, and they're just really generous with their time to a kid who was kind of in formative years. So tell me a lot.
Yeah. Okay, that's exactly what you love to hear as a baseball fan. I have no interactions with any baseball player ever, so to me, that is. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not true. Mickey Rivers one time signed a photo for me. Never saw him play because he played in the 70s. I wasn't born, but that was pretty neat. But no, I mean, I never had that kind of interaction. And you hope. I just always want to think people that I watch all the time are good people, and hearing that just makes me smile.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different personalities, like everything else. But some people like, and the ones who, you got to think like how many 16-year-old kids do you go out of your way to be really nice to, and a lot of these guys did. So yeah, I'll always remember that, and special.
Well, I'll tell you what, I already like the Blue Jays a lot better than I did 10 minutes ago. So you're doing a good job.
Blue Jays are great, okay, and this year they're going to be great.
Good segue. Okay, good segue. So I think if I had to create a tagline for this year's Blue Jays, I think it's probably young, fun, and ready to succeed.
Yeah. I was just reading an article about them and said the kids are all right.
Copyright.
They're some great additions. I actually really love the Marcus Semien signing. That's like, I think low key that's going to be a game changer.
It's interesting. That surprised me a lot because their middle infield seemed so set last year with two young studs. And yeah. I looked this up because I saw they signed Semien, who's the shortstop. He played every single defensive game of his career with the A's at shortstop. I looked it up. Not a single game anywhere else. And he's playing second base this year.
Yeah. I think that, and I also think last year was kind of an outlier. Like last year was a weird year for everyone.
Toss it out.
Yeah, there's no saying like I don't read too much into 2020 stats because you're just like where their heads must have been at, like what a complicated thing, and still to a certain degree for sure. But I mean, in 2019 he was rock solid. So that's going to be great. The young guys, love to see that. George Springer, love to see that. I hope this injury is not bad. A bunch of our pitchers are already hurt, so that's not good.
Welcome to my life, bud.
That's true. That is. Are you guys going to get Severino back?
Yes.
Yeah? At what point?
June is my guess.
Did you tell me John he did? It was that. Yeah, that sucks.
It does suck because that guy's amazing, and I actually have completely forgotten about him because I'm not forgotten because I love him. Actually, I watched his major league debut I think it's against the Red Sox, but it was a summer when I was in Canada for the only time in my life. I'll never forget being in this random hotel room in Montreal and trying to watch Luis Severino's major league debut, which was on TV somehow. And just, it was weird. He was awesome. He was unbelievable until he got hurt and then hurt again. So.
Yeah. But so you guys have, I mean, I like Kluber, and you guys take a lot of flyers out on people this year. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, Garrett Cole, we love Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole is so good.
I know.
Watching him during spring, I was like, this guy is automatic.
That game he pitched against you guys, though, was like his best start of the spring. He was lights out. It was unreal.
Yeah. I've never seen him like get blown up. Like I've seen him maybe give up 3 or 4 runs max, but I've never seen him get really crushed.
Yeah. It doesn't happen very often. I mean, I watched him when he was still with the Astros, the team we will not name. When they played the Yankees in 2019, he didn't really have anything. And the Yankees kept getting base runners and base runners and base runners, and nobody scored. And I was just like, this guy has devil magic. What's going on? So
it's amazing those pitchers, like even going back to like Roy Halladay.
Yeah.
And seeing those guys pitch. And my favorite games actually when I used to work there was Roy Halladay versus Mark Burley. Because they guys were just like so locked in. Games would be like 2 hours long. You'd be like, what happened?
Love that.
Because they're yeah.
So who do you guys? You guys have Ryu heading at the rotation, who's awesome.
And then who knows? No, we have I think they were saying Ross Stripling might be our number 2 starter.
Yeah, I'm looking at my notes now because I wrote down, I was like, I don't know who's pitching for the Blue Jays. I wrote down, okay, well, you have Steven Matz, though. You traded for Steven Matz this offseason.
Matz might be number 3.
Tanner Roark.
Tanner Roark would be 4, and then Robbie Ray if he's back. I actually really like Robbie Ray.
Yeah, I'm interested in Robbie Ray because he has always had that. He's been one of those guys who got that tantalizing stuff that just like hasn't quite clicked.
No. I picked him up on the fantasy league too.
Did you? Okay, so we're rooting for Ray.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's a big question. But I was also looking at all the starters across the American League East, and nobody really has a great rotation.
Yeah, except Tampa's going to inevitably pitch to a 0.0 ERA for no reason.
I know. They're going to have like 3 prospects who come up, and yeah, like
he's so mad.
I know their pitching development's unreal.
Stupid.
But Chris Archer was number 3 starter, and Chris Archer was not good for Philly. For
Pittsburgh, and I mean, I that's another guy when you're like, well, he was supposed to be good, and then he wasn't, and so now I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Sale is coming back eventually for the Red Sox, if you believe in the Red Sox at all.
I love Chris Sale.
He's obviously very good.
Might be sneaky, all right, you know. There's something about like you like no.
Believe me, I've seen the Red Sox be very good. I feel like they've got like 5 good hitters and not a lot of pitching.
They do not have a lot of pitching.
I mean, I watched Nate Eovaldi, who's their opening day starter. I watched that guy and I was like, he's going to be so good. He's going to break out with the Yankees. He's going to be so great. And then every single time he let me down.
Really?
Yeah.
But he's pretty good for Boston, no? I guess he's got nothing.
He's been okay, and he got hurt.
Yeah.
Whatever. He should be great.
Most people are expecting the Yankees to win the division. I don't know about that.
No. Okay. So, you think it's going to be the Blue Jays?
I do think so, actually. Yeah, I do. Because the Yankees pitching, like, I don't know. I like Corey Kluber a lot, but him and who's your number 3?
So, okay, I'm going to order them the way I would order them, not the way it's actually going. But number 3 in the season is going to be Domingo Germán.
That's who it was. Yeah.
We have feelings about his personal life, perhaps. At least I do. But he didn't pitch at all last year because he was suspended for domestic violence, and it seems like it was pretty rough, whatever it was. Details not public, nor should they be. But he, though, has never been anything but really good pitching wise. And I thought he would look bad in spring training and be rusty, but he looked great. So
spring training,
but he looked sharp.
Yeah. The Blue Jays are generally very good in spring training. And I feel like when I was younger, before I used to clock it, I used to get really excited. And then it just like, for so long, the Blue Jays were like very middling. But they were good this year, and I don't know. I'm very excited to tune into games. One of my favorite things to do, especially since gym memberships aren't really a thing anymore in New York or in most places, is to work out during the baseball game. Like throw the baseball game on and then do kind of a light but like 3-hour long kind of workout while you're watching the game. Just because I'm like, I don't know. I like to.
That's great. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have before. I hate running. I hate jogging. So the pandemic has been my nightmare because it takes away all the stuff I like doing, like classes and sports, and leaves me with stuff I hate doing. But I have been known to go jogging while listening to a baseball podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
It's weird. It's not like pump you up stuff, but it distracts me. So instead of thinking like, how long do I have to run?
Do you have a favorite baseball podcast? I don't think I've ever listened to a baseball podcast.
I have several. Most of them are kind of Yankee centric, but I'll shout it out though, because R2C2, it's Cece Sabathia has a podcast with occasional commentator Ryan Rucco, who's great, and they are both huge Star Wars fans, hence R2C2, and they're unbelievable. They get great guests on, not just Yankees, also other baseball players, also other athletes, also actors, producers, musicians, cool stuff. They're great. But for general interest, I recommend, it's called Ballpark Dimensions now. It used to be the StatCast podcast. And it's Mike Petriello, and he's a genius. That one's great.
Oh, that's sweet. CC's about it too.
Couldn't love him more.
Oh man, I'm really excited about like where. I was also having this conversation the other day. Like, I'm really exciting. It's really exciting to see where baseball is right now and like the young studs coming up, and it's just very exciting. You know, it's like I feel like in my growing up, like the Big Poppies and Manny Ramirez and like all those guys are so iconic. But it's nice to see, you know, like even Bryce Harper's been around for a long time. Mike Trout's been around for a long time now,
He's
and
30.
like all these guys who were kind of just after that, and now I like the Tatis and Trevor Story, I guess, has kind of been around for a while now too. But
Acuna, Soto. The National League has these incredible stars. So, I mean, that's going to be fun to watch. But let's talk about your young stars because the Jays have some guys. I mean, we touched on Bo Bichette. We got Cavan Biggio there, Vlad Jr., also Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Like,
it's funny. Best hair in the league, by the way, too, Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
I mean, Bo's got some hair too.
That's true. But Teoscar Hernandez, who was like our home run leader last year, kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's so cool. He's like one of my new. I'm like, man, that guy's so easy, just so strong, so effortlessly strong. Yeah, I mean, I'm really encouraged about the next few years, which is Cavan Biggio has, I think I have this right, has not been thrown out stealing a base.
I will not fact check you and say that's awesome.
95% sure about that.
Just tracks.
He just like picks his spots and just goes. But high energy, and you know, what more can you want out of a baseball team, really?
I love it. I mean, that's winning. But those things lead to winning. I mean, my team has always been the more of a big bopper than a small ball team. But I will say, like, I really enjoy watching these Blue Jays because of that. They do hit for power, but they also will a lot of them run. Bo steals bases a lot too, if memory serves. And yeah, I mean, Gurriel, I think everyone forgets about, but he's shockingly good.
Yeah, Gurriel, and it's kind of strange that Randall Grichuk is, I think, slated to maybe start on the bench, but it's or maybe in DH or something like that. But he's kind of the odd man out at the moment, I think.
I think Springer. I mean, they haven't announced it yet. My guess is Springer starting on the IL.
True.
Because if I were the Blue Jays and I had just signed one of the best outfielders in the game for 6 years, I probably wouldn't rush him.
Also, Randall Grichuk's pretty good. He's like very streaky, but he's pretty good.
Kills the Yankees. Absolutely kills them.
Good. We need that.
It's always Grichuk every time. Like, where'd this guy come from?
Funny having lived in, you know, between Toronto and New York for so long, but having had a presence in New York for so long, I do. Yeah, I mean, I certainly like the Yankees, but it feels like such a betrayal to my teenagers because they were just like coming into town. You just, oh man.
Oh, but I have to ask you too, before we go off the young Blue Jays hitters, what do we think about Alejandro Kirk?
Oh, I love him.
Right?
I love him. Come on, such spirit, you know? Yeah.
Where'd that guy come from? Like, what is his deal? He came out of nowhere.
I actually don't know.
It's shocking.
I don't know. I didn't really hear much about him until, because I actually liked Andy Jansen too, and he had some struggles last year, but I like him as a piece, as our main catcher. But for the last couple of years, we've had just tough times getting any production out of our backup catchers.
Well, that's not just you.
That's true. But I love this guy.
He's so fun.
I know. I feel like every team needs like a bit of a wild card like that, who kind of is a lot of fun and just has a lot of spirit. A couple of years ago, we had oh damn,
I love that guy.
He's a Japanese player, and he was just like so. What is his name? Anyway, he just added such fun to the team, and the guys loves having him around. Just lightens everything up. Same as a cast, right? Same as a cast in the theater. You know, everything's not. You don't want to take everything too seriously. You also just grind yourself down. You know.
Yes, although yes, I actually imagine, I think this probably is what draws me to baseball. I feel like it's a similar dynamic in a lot of ways. I mean, I say that as an outsider in baseball, but people who spend a lot of time together in moderately close quarters in high tension, emotionally vulnerable situations, trying to achieve things together that require teamwork, but also individual achievement.
Yeah.
And you're totally right, because we've all been in rooms where the energies are not in sync and it can be a challenge for everybody.
For sure. And then sometimes it just clicks. Like I think all team sports like that are, I mean, that's the job of the manager and coaches, and to put that all together, get the right guys in the room.
It's also how I think, it's a little bit how I think of my job in the theater. People who don't know what stage managing is ask what it is. And I think the way I describe my job at its most simple is being the person that enables all the artists to do their best work. And obviously that's not a very I have a lot of nitty gritty stuff that I do, but ultimately it's all in service of that. And it is because, all these amazing, talented, creative, brilliant individuals have to somehow come together to do one thing.
Well, it's such, I mean, stage managing yourself included, like, it's such a unique skill set and such a necessary thing in the theater. It just wouldn't be possible without it, right? Like, it's just such a big part of the whole process and the success of the whole process.
And it so helps to have the guys in the room, or the humans in the room, who are always going to just be a mood lightener. Like they walk in and you smile. Love those people.
I would be so bad at being a stage. We talked about that. That is not where my skill sets lie.
I mentioned that I'd never been to Rogers Center. I've never even been to Toronto, to be honest with you. And it's a vast oversight on my part. Must be remedied. But if I were to, when I go, you are clearly the expert of that place. So what quirky things do you love most about that stadium?
Oh, about the stadium.
Yeah, the city too, but that's probably broader.
The stadium. So Toronto's on Lake Ontario, right? So Lake Ontario is here. Toronto is here, right?
Yes.
Kind of curled around, but it's and the stadium is right down by the water.
Gorgeous.
And right beside the stadium is the CN Tower, which is this massive tower. Like, if you've seen Seattle's Space Needle, I think they call it, right? Like that, but way bigger and thinner. Which is really cool because that has, you can go up there and it is a glass floor and things like that. Look down. It's just a very cool experience, and something when you go to Toronto you should definitely do. But the stadium itself also has a hotel built into it.
Right.
So you can
weird.
You can stay. I think that actually maybe the players did that last year, something.
Makes sense.
But people can stay, and they do. They rent out the hotel rooms and they watch the game from the price of the ticket is like built into the room.
Wow.
They're way out there, and it's right above center field, so it's like a big, cool view of the whole stadium. But I mean, I've been like in the innards of the stadium. There's a lot of really cool kind of passageway and different ways in and things like that. And when I was there, it also doubled for the Argos, who are the CFL football team. And so seeing how they flip the field and turn it into a football field and being out there is just really cool. They did, when I was working there, it used to be turf.
Oh, yeah.
Turf. What's like carpet stuff? It's not
even turf. You're right. It was turf.
Yeah, and then they put like fake grass on it, which is, I guess, a more realistic
step up.
Yeah, but like when the ball would hit it, little pellets would kind of fly up. But when it was turf, it was like rug, and so you'd slide. The players would slide, and like it was not pleasant. There were seams. Sometimes the ball would hit a seam and skip on you. But it's really, I mean, a lot of people think it's not the most beautiful stadium for sure, but the retractable roof is like, sometimes they open it during the game, and wow. It's just a really beautiful experience. That said, I think they're in the works to build a new one.
Is that true? Wow, that's crazy, because it feels like that's one of the newer ones. Isn't it one of the newer ones?
Just decided that, I want to say they built in like 89.
Oh. Maybe. I guess it's been a minute then.
They won the World Series there, though.
Yeah. See, and you're
Yeah.
gonna build a new one, and be like, man, missed that old one. That's
Oh,
what everyone does. It seems like.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they just decided they're going to build a new one like this off season. They just, but it's going to be
Well, delayed a
yeah.
while.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's a process.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you? So, I mean, I know how it is in Yankee Stadium. How are Blue Jays fans in the stadium in terms of other fans coming in? Are they like? I mean, I'm so full disclosure. I am the person sitting in the bleachers, which is super Yankee fan heavy, but I'm actually in left field, which is over the visitors bullpen. So you do actually get a good number of other team fans there. But I am the person who will stand up when everyone is booing and be like, no, be nice. Why are we booing? They're here to support their team. Come on. And no one likes that about me. I'm kind of a killjoy in terms of the booing, but this is my thing. I hate booing in sports. Just cheer your own team. Don't boo the other team. They're people too. But
Yeah.
that's a very Yankee fans are like aggressive sometimes. How are Blue Jays fans? Like if I went, I probably wouldn't do this, but if I went to a Yankees Blue Jays game and was clearly a Yankees fan, would I be like heckled or would I be ignored?
I would say that they are pretty nice to Boston fans.
Canada.
They're yeah, things don't generally get out of hand. Like there's not really fights
That's good.
or anything like that. I mean, it's one great part of the ball boy job was because you warm up the left fielder every time the Jays are in the field, right? So I'd play catch with Reed Johnson or Frank Catalanato every inning, but then you have the other half inning off because it's the visitors; they do their own thing.
Right.
So I'd stand with my buddy Jeremy, who was a security guard, and we just watch the fans. I could just stare out at the fans. He would have to because he was a security guard, but we just stand and just talk and just watch the people. But yeah, pretty civilized environment in general. You know, like if you're swearing, the security guards will come over and be like, guys, come on.
Oh boy, that must be nice. I actually think I would prefer that. I love passion, but I tend to be the person who wants to be nice. So maybe I'm secretly Canadian.
I did hear like some of the one couple of the players over the years, like because they're so nice, they like don't stand up for the whole ninth inning. Like everyone will stand up when there's 2 outs and 2 strikes in the ninth inning, but like they won't be rabid fans like for the entirety of the ninth inning. But I think that's just more of like a cultural thing. They're still really into the game.
Yeah.
But you go to these parks and they're just so eating up those big moments. But I've heard about like some baseball fields, but also like football has this culture in it where if you go and you wear the other team's jersey, like you should expect to take some shit.
So my feeling on that is, I think you do expect that. I think I like to try to talk to the fan in the other jersey because I like to, like I'm doing with you, get useful information. So the only time I get mad is if I ask somebody what pitches Jacob deGrom throws when they're wearing a Mets jersey and cheering, and they're like, I don't know. I'm like, well, then what good are you to me? I want to know information about your team. Useless. But no, I think I think if you're wearing the jersey of the visiting team,
Yeah.
that's awesome. What I have seen at Yankee Stadium before, and I hate this. This dude, I was there at like a Yankees Braves game, and this dude's wandering around in a Red Sox jersey, and you're like, you're just doing that to get booed. What are you doing? I would never show up at Fenway in pinstripes if there was Sox playing the Orioles. Like, who does that?
That's true.
It's just a dick move.
I will say sometimes I've worn like a Blue Jays shirt or Blue Jays jersey when the Yankees are playing the Jays. And like
I know, of course.
But I've never really gotten any feedback about that. Blue Jays hit a home run. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Happy to clap for him. And yeah, Yankees fans haven't been overly, or maybe they can smell it on me though that I've lived there for.
You know, also, frankly, if I turned around and like was going to say something to you and then saw like you being a tall and strong looking man, I might stop what I was going to say. Just me. But to be fair, I mean, I've only seen a couple of, I think anywhere you're going to find sports fans get really into it and be kind of rude. Yankees fans mostly are just going to like boo or yell, but not. I feel like if you want to see a fight, you got to go to Fenway. I've heard some stories.
Yeah. I don't know. When I was in Fenway, it rained. It was like raining the whole weekend. So it was kind of, I feel like everyone was just shut up and watch the game. Everyone's
Like sad and huddled. One of the most embarrassing facts about me is that I have never been to Fenway, which is particularly egregious because I spent 4 years in Boston for college and managed not to go. It's not good. I want to go.
I mean, it's pretty close to the city. It's what, 4 hour time? Go.
I had a plan to go last year, but then apparently there weren't sports last year or something.
Get a job at the Huntington or something and go then. That's great, dude.
If you're listening, Huntington, I am a stage manager who would like to work for you so I can go see the Red Sox play. So the other thing I think is fun about stadiums, and I don't know if this is true of Rogers Center, and I think it's not true of Yankee Stadium, but so many places have a food or drink that they are ridiculously proud of, and you have to try it if you go. And if you ask me what is that for Yankee Stadium, I would say, I don't know, I guess a Nathan's hot dog, because they were born in the USA and in the New York City area, right? So that's like, I don't know.
I also find like in New York, pretzels are a big thing. Like they have pretzels in Canada, but like I don't think I've ever bought a pretzel. Like one of those giant ones, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't even know if they have those in the stadium. I've never seen like the big like pretzel shaped pretzels.
I bet they
Probably.
also like the peanuts, the honey roasted peanuts and like those trucks. Those things.
Okay. Is that a New York thing?
No.
Okay.
It's not a Toronto thing. I've never seen that in Toronto.
Do you have poutine?
Oh my God, I love poutine. When I lived in Montreal for that year, oh man, that was so good. Did you when you went there?
Of course I tried it. Yeah. I think I wanted to love it, but I just think I think the cheese curd might be the acquired texture thing.
Mm.
But so I'm guessing they don't have poutine therefore at Rogers Center because it's more.
They did. I think they did a whole rebranding a couple of years ago where they like had different food there and stuff. But I don't know.
I'm like, okay, interesting. Okay, I'll have to go and investigate and report back.
I only really know because some of my friends, we have like they call them the action seats, which are the first 2 rows behind home plate.
Ooh.
I have a lot of friends who work in there, right? Because I used to hang out with these people, and a lot of them are still there. But yeah, it's like hot dogs and Klondike bars and things like that. You know,
Klondike bar. Okay, that seems vaguely Canadian.
Oh, is that not a U.S. thing?
I mean, I know I've heard of it. There's that whole. Yeah. I'm not going to sing the jingle.
It's like a exactly.
I can't sing. You don't want to hear it. But because I never have seen that at a game. Are they Canadian or are they American?
I don't know.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any like specific food or anything like that. Yeah,
okay, and then maybe the last thing about that, this is on goofy stadium things, is so I love puppets and Muppets and mascots, and the Yankees don't have one, which I get it. It fits with our vibe. We are classy, suited up, buttoned up men. We don't do mascots, but I love mascots. So you have one.
Yeah, Ace.
What had feelings?
I like Ace actually. Yeah, the it's funny because in Toronto the Raptors have like the best mascot.
Ooh.
He's the Raptor.
Sure.
But he's just so good. Like he's just so athletic, and so I don't know who it is, but I'm sure it's several different people. But the Raptor's a really tough act to follow, and Ace is like a bigger kind of clumsier costume. Mm-hmm. So yeah, tough act to follow, but does a great job.
Does he have a shtick?
We do the OK Blue Jays. You guys know that song? Probably not. OK Blue Jays, let's play ball. I guess that's a Blue Jays thing. I mean,
probably, yeah.
Like maybe do they replace the Blue Jays in different ballparks? Mm-hmm. But I guess not. But yeah, so like for the 7th inning stretch, because we don't play God Bless America.
But why?
We have our own 7th inning stretch rituals. And that's OK Blue Jays. So he does that. So yeah, I guess that's kind of a thing.
Do you take me out to the ball game?
Yes, actually, yes. I don't know when we do the.
I was about to be horrified.
I don't know. We do take me out to the ball game, yes.
That's not American. That's just baseball. One must.
That's baseball.
Okay, Blue Jay. So, because I'm thinking of, I don't know all the mascots very well, but I'm thinking of like there are some that are pranksters. You've got your Orbits and your Fanatics of the world. So is Ace more like a straight shooter?
Kind of. I remember after me, I was watching a game and the ball boy picked up a fair ball, which I'm happy to say I never did.
Good job.
But a lot of ball boys do. You'll see that a lot.
Oh no.
And he brought out caution tape and stuff and like put it around him and like did a whole thing. So yeah, I mean he is fun for sure. He is fun.
Okay, I'm into it. I do think I will say I looked at a photo of him. I did like a very short amount of research on this, but it seems like there have been iterations of Ace a little bit, and the 2012 rebrand of Ace gave him a blue beak. I find this very weird.
I don't know. I must have. Oh no, I wasn't there in 2012.
No, because I mean, he's a big, anthropomorphic blue jay in a human in a blue jay suit. So he's already large and comic book-esque. But then the beak is like bright blue jay blue. You're like, what's happening?
The Blue Jays went through a lot of uniform changes in
Yes.
15 years, 10, 15 years. And they've landed where they started, essentially, which is the best. Like, especially like the powder blue uniforms and when they go all blue. Like, it's just so great.
But the whites. I
have a lot of Blue Jays gear from all of these times. And some of them is just like people come up and ask me, they're like, what is that hat? Like, it's in 2005.
It's a classic. It's a vintage.
Yeah.
What's your favorite uniform set? Is powder blue or is something else?
Oh, it's so great what they do now. Yeah. It's just like I wish like the Yankees have such a cool thing going where it's just like that's it.
Never gonna change.
Yeah, it's never gonna change. What do you think about the beard rule with the Yankees?
Okay, I know that the current trendy opinion is that it sucks and limits self-expression, and I support that. But I really, really, really hate the beard that's like gonna eat your entire body look.
Yes.
And I guess it's not my business.
Like the Jabba Chamberlain look. When he was with the Tigers, where he was just like
it's not, or like who am I thinking of? Charlie Blackmon's beard.
But he's so cool though.
He is cool. And I guess it's not my business how people want their facial hair to look. So
yeah, Charlie Blackmon. Who else? Jason Worth. You remember Jason Worth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Archie Bradley had a crazy one for a while. I'm not sure he does anymore.
He's got the goggles and everything. He's rebranded himself.
He's rebranded. I mean, so this is exactly the point though. I mean, guys should be allowed to express themselves how they want, but selfishly, I love that they're clean cut because it just looks so neat and tidy. But I guess that's a me thing I should let go of because they're humans and should be able to express themselves as humans.
Like then where would I don't know the counter argument to that? I don't really have any specific feelings about the Yankees facial hair, but the counter argument to that is like they're all wearing a uniform. If that's an extension of the uniform, then yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. But also, interestingly enough, I think I like the non-crazy beard rule. So sorry, everyone, I've outed myself as I like clean shaven. But
so many comments below this.
Everyone's gonna hate this.
How dare you?
I'm the worst. But I am pro crazy hair.
Oh, okay.
Andrew McCutchen, who I loved being Yankee for a hot second, had said after he left that he didn't like that he had to kind of curtail his hair.
Oh, I didn't really have to do that. I guess I've never thought about that.
I guess I hadn't really either because the majority of players probably don't do anything to their hair because it's pretty short. A lot of men tend to keep their hair pretty short, but I didn't. Apparently, that's also a thing, and it became a thing for us too because Clint Frazier, who I'm calling everyone for a big year, but I'm particularly calling Clint Frazier for a big year this year. But there was a whole drama when he first came to spring training his first year in camp because he's a redhead, which is already kind of, that stands out, but he also had it kind of long. And somehow, I don't think it was even his fault, but somehow it became a whole story that like he didn't want to get a cut and they made him get a cut. And then it was a whole like to do worst. And I was like, why do we care? Just let him have the hair. I mean, if it's in his eyes, that's a problem.
Though I will say that as a man, I think every person has their own thing, but like facial hair, it makes a difference how you feel.
Yeah.
So if you feel comfortable with like no facial hair or a big beard, like a big beard makes me feel like a very different person than being clean shaven. It's just, it ages me up. It just makes me feel different. So I get that. Like, and baseball is so much about routine and so much about rhythm and being in yourself and being able to turn your brain off, that it is, I get that being a problem. I do.
Follow-up question. What does a big beard make you feel like?
It makes me feel like I'm thank you for that question. It makes me feel
People want to know.
maybe like I'm hiding a little bit more, you know, like it's a little more I don't know, you're clean cut or you feel like Superman or something like that. But you with a big beard, it's just, you know, it's I don't know, hiding. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a reverse Samson.
I mean, do you feel different with your hair up versus your hair down?
Yes.
Like why?
Well, me personally, because I play with my hair a lot,
Okay.
and I don't know. I guess there's something more it being down. I mean, that's a classic movie trope. Take the hair down. It's like, you know, it's literally an expression. Let your hair down. So I guess it feels more free somehow. But also, I wear it up whenever I'm working because it's like distracting to me.
You're there.
Yeah, constantly. My mother hates it down. So hi, mom. She watches every one of these, so she's gonna love this. She thinks it just looks much better up. Also, I need a haircut, so there's that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to grow my hair out, always, but I think I missed the boat.
Well,
Because
okay.
I'll grow it out. I did during the pandemic for a while, but then you go to work and nobody wants to hire that.
The problem being an actor is much like being a baseball player for the Yankees. You don't have a choice.
Exactly, that's so true.
So
And they can actually do like to actors hair kind of whatever they want in the end. I mean, they're pretty good about that. They give you an opinion.
And next year you're gonna have a blue mohawk because you said that. You're gonna be like, they're always so nice to me. Ah, damn. Where did this come from? I'd love to see it. Okay, so I could talk to you forever. But before I ask you to play a short game with me, before I do that, is there anything else actually about the Blue Jays you feel like you want to get off your chest? And also, I'm going to ask you to, on the spot, well, I guess you've already made your prediction, but why don't you go ahead and predict the whole American League East in the standings? I'm curious what you think.
Well, the Orioles are just terrible.
Yeah, sorry, Orioles.
Although, I gotta say, like they have some players where I'm just like, oh, that guy's pretty good. Who's that? They're you got Mount Castle.
Yes, Mountcastle.
He could be pretty good. And Santander.
Santander had a good year. Mancini's good too.
Oh yeah, Mancini. Yeah, but he's coming off injury, so you never know.
No, he's coming off of prostate cancer.
Chris Davis, though. What about Chris Davis?
He's hurt already.
Yeah, he is actually. Yeah. So they're going to be in the basement for sure. Yeah. I would say I'm going to go with the Jays first.
Okay.
Go with the Yankees second.
Okay.
I like the Yankees. I respect the Yankees, but don't think that they're going to stay healthy all year. Plus, their pitching is just kind of problematic. I think that the Blue Jays can hit with anybody in the league.
Yeah.
So I think they got a pretty good shot, especially since no team has great pitching, and I think Tampa's going to be third. A lot of
mediocrity.
A lot of the articles out there were saying that Yankees first, Tampa second, Blue Jays third, which I took great offense to personally.
I have also read. I don't think I've actually read an official publication predicting anyone but the Yankees to win the American League East. But that being said, first of all, I could see the Blue Jays winning the East. I could also see the Rays winning the East, although I'm less confident in that.
This is the official publication that's calling the Blue Jays winning these.
This is I get to be an official publication now? Oh, upgrade. You heard it here first, guys. Official publication, the KK Zone. But yeah, I mean, I think the Yankees are going to win, not just because I'm totally biased, but I do think they have the top to bottom strongest roster. I agree on the injuries. I agree on the pitching questions. I have equal pitching questions about the Blue Jays. So I think it's going to be, those teams are going to like just tee off. It's going to be offense ad nauseum.
Like 11 to 10 every game.
Yeah, it's going to be exhausting. They're going to be 10-hour games. Get ready.
These are already 10-hour games.
It's going to be even longer. But I've seen the Rays picked to finish everywhere from second to fourth. And
people think Boston's going to sneak into third.
Some people do.
Have some good pieces. Like Xander Bogaerts is a very good baseball player.
He's super good. I mean, Rafael Devers is also super good.
I also like that Bobby Dahlbeck guy, their first baseman.
Yes, although is he even starting in the? I'm not sure if he's starting up or not.
Maybe.
I mean, and Alex Verdugo is really good too. They have some guys, but I think because they also lost some guys. I think the Tampa variance had a lot to do with how much they turned over from last year. I mean, they won the division last year, although, like I said, they wouldn't have in a full season, I think, but they did. But they also then trashed a bunch of their best pieces.
Yeah.
So I think it's less about
that they had Blake Snell. He's so good.
I don't know. Yes, Blake Snell is good. That is a fact. Blake Snell is good. It's gonna be interesting.
But what? You had thoughts.
I've watched.
I'm not gonna watch this. Don't worry.
I've watched. I know. Of course. I've watched the Yankees light up Blake Snell one too many times.
Oh, that's true.
But I think he is really good. I was gonna say I read this too. This isn't my novel opinion. It's interesting if the Padres let him do what he says he wants to do, which is pitch deep into games, which Tampa never let him do. It'll be interesting to see whether he actually can get through the order a third time and be the ace, or if they were right and he can't. I'm curious. We'll find out.
I don't know.
But okay, so my official prediction, just to say it, I think it's going to be Yankees first, Blue Jays, a close second, and then Rays, Red Sox, sad Orioles.
We'll have to go to a Yankees Jays game if things, maybe.
I would love to. That is definitely going to happen if you're here and we can go and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so will you humor me? Because in addition to Muppets and stuff, I also love games a lot. Okay, this is going to be not challenging. I basically have, you can't see them because they're on the ground next to me. I have 4 baseball hats, and one of them has Toronto's pitchers in it. One has Toronto's hitters in it, and then there's 2 that have the same for the Yankees. So let's play the match-up game. Nothing like the match game, but sounds like it.
I like it. Okay.
I'm going to draw 5 pairings, and each of us has to, for each pairing, say what we think the outcome of a plate appearance between those 2 is going to be.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It gets to be a season-long game. So there could be multiple plate appearances, or there could be 0. And every time the thing that we said happens, we get a point.
Okay.
And then in October, whoever ends up with fewer points owes the person who has more points a drink.
Deal.
Now, this can go wrong in a lot of ways. I tried to only pick the people that I think are actually probably going to play a lot of games, but who knows what can happen. But since this is about the Blue Jays today, you get to tell me it's five pairings. Would you rather have 3 pitchers or 3 hitters on your side?
3 hitters. So I'm picking who I think is going to have the most success, right?
I'm going to pick pairings, and you're going to tell me what you think is going to happen. So, for example, if it were like, you know what, I'm just going to pick one, and we'll do an example live. Let's play a matchup game. Okay. So we're going to start with, because you chose hitters, we're going to start with a Yankees pitcher and Toronto hitter.
How many do you have? How many hitters do you have in that?
I don't know, like 10 or 11.
All of them?
So I'm just going to pick out of my hat.
I'm going to try and guess who you're going to pick.
Oh, you're going to try like psychic this?
In the game, yeah. Yeah. And I was going to guess that you're going to pick Rowdy Tellez.
He is in there, so it's possible. Okay, let me see. So I'm going to bend below the camera. This is really good TV. Okay. Also, I should say, None of these are going to be Toronto Blue Jays hats. I'm really sorry about it, but I don't have any. Okay, so Yankees pitcher. We've got.
Oh, you look.
I'm not going to guess. Okay, it's Jordan Montgomery.
Okay.
He's a left-handed pitcher, if that influences your choices.
No.
And then out of this Brooklyn Cyclones hat in neon yellow,
I like it.
we have. Well, it's not Ryan Tellez, but it is Joe Panic.
Oh.
So lefty.
Joe Panic. I do like Joe Panic a lot. I like him as an addition.
Yeah.
Infield. I'm gonna go though and say that Jordan Montgomery would win that matchup. That's what I'm guessing, right?
Well, you have to be specific. You gotta guess an outcome for me.
Oh, I'm gonna guess like what I see. Like if in this theoretical at bat, what the outcome would be. I'm gonna say, like, how detailed do you want it? Like pitches and things like that?
No, okay. I'll tell you. I'll go first. I think in this matchup, it's going to be a ground out to second base.
Fair. My instinct would be a lazy fly ball to left field.
Great.
Yeah.
So we're gonna watch, and every time that Montgomery and Panic match up, if one of those two things happens,
it's not gonna happen that often.
You say that, but then like someone's gonna get hurt, and suddenly Joe Panic is gonna be starting every game for you, because I guarantee you.
I like Joe Panic a lot. He went on a tear last year that I was like, oh man, I like him.
That's fun. I always forget he's a player, but then whenever I see his name, I just say Panic at the Disco in my head. So that's cool. Okay. Now, next matchup, where Toronto's pitching. Do you want to psychic this? Which pitcher am I going to pick?
You're going to pick Tanner Roark.
No, I got Steven Matz.
Okay.
So we got a lefty pitcher. And then Yankees hitter, I'm not going to guess. I don't have ESPN.
Yeah.
Guess? Luke Voigt, because he's not going to be back for 2 months.
Yeah, that sucks. He's huge, that guy.
Okay, it's DJ LeMahieu.
Ooh, oh, I think we know what's going to happen here.
Yeah. You can go first, though.
I'm going to say double to left field.
Right. I'm going to say single to right.
Okay. He does love him.
He goes the other way a lot.
Good, man. I wish that the Rockies like could have that whole core back together, because I feel like they just didn't quite. Maybe it's because their pitching was so bad around that time.
Their pitching is always pretty bad, but
they had him. They had Charlie Blackmon, Nolan Arenado. That was before Trevor Story. Tulowitzki, yes. I remember one of the Blue Jays shortstops when Tulowitzki was just starting out. We were talking about fantasy baseball, which we shouldn't have been, because he was like, "Do you have me on your team?" And I was like,
"Oh no."
Yep.
Definitely.
It was like Tulowitzki, because the Rockies were in town that year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't happen often, but he was like, this guy's special. Like he's really good. And he was right.
He was, until he got hurt.
You know, the Blue Jays are still paying him.
I know. I mean, he played for us for a hot second. He hit a home run, I think, opening day. And then was never heard from again.
He was so good though, man. All the talent. It's just bodies. Like it's so. I hate that when people's careers end because injuries.
Honestly, it's why baseball though is my favorite sport to watch. Part of why. Many reasons why. One of them though is fewer really intense injuries all the time. Like watching football makes me really anxious. I can't do it.
Yeah, especially these days. It's just for sure.
All right, we got 3 more. Here we go. Okay, Yankees pitcher. I guess I have to guess who this is going to be. Chapman. But actually, It is. No, it's Darren O'Day.
Oh, okay. He's a cool addition.
Former Oriole, Darren O'Day.
Yeah. Who Jose Batista used to smoke.
What?
Jose Batista used to smoke that guy when they had like a big rivalry. I mean, he got the best of him sometimes too.
Weird. All right, what hitter you want?
I'm gonna go with Danny Jansen.
We got George Springer here.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting one. So righty, Darren O'Day versus George Springer probably will happen. I guess I have to go first. I'm gonna go with fly out to center.
I'm gonna go with
Yeah, that's a good choice. I support that choice, frankly. All right, you heard it here first. Springer's gonna homer off O'Day because RJ said so.
I like that.
Right.
I like Springer so much. I'm very excited.
He's so good. I just dropped a bunch of stuff. I'm so glad. I'm glad they signed him. I mean, not because I have to play against him now, but like that was a really good choice for them.
So much money. It's nice that the Blue Jays went all in like that. That's pretty cool.
So glad. All right, two more.
Okay.
Toronto pitcher. Who's it gonna be?
Yeah. It can be a relief pitcher too.
Yeah.
You have Tim Meza in there.
No, because I thought he might not get enough appearances.
We'll go with Hyunjin Ryu.
He's definitely in there.
Yeah.
No, Trent Thornton.
Oh, he's having a really good spring, actually. I like that guy.
He is, yeah, right-handed pitcher. And I think we're gonna get a Judge. No, Gio Urshela.
Okay.
Righty.
I think that is going to be a ground ball to first base.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with a double to left.
Okay.
I think Gio's gonna have a year. Okay. Last one. It's gonna be Yankees pitcher, so I'm gonna guess this one. I don't know. Who have I not said? Let's go with Jameson Tyone.
Okay.
He pitches for us too.
He could be a big wild card for you guys too.
Yeah. I am incorrect. It is actually reliever Justin Wilson.
Okay. I don't know too much about Justin Wilson.
Is he what?
Where did he come from? Was he with the Tigers?
He was actually a Yankee first though, but he was then with the Tigers.
If I knew as much about other things as I do about baseball.
Oh, and then the Mets. He was with the Mets last year. I forgot.
Oh, cool.
So he's probably broken now. Thanks a lot, Mets. Okay, just kidding. Justin Wilson. And then who do you think is going to be on your side for hitting?
Bichette.
I hope so. No, but just as good. We got Vlad Guerrero Jr. here.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. I'm going to go homer to left field. Boom.
See, yeah, I was actually going to say homer, but you got there first. So I will not say the same thing because that would be cheating. So instead, I'm going to say a double. A booming double.
I like that. Like off the top of the wall or something.
Yeah, like they were off the bat. He thought maybe it was a homer.
Someone told me he lost 70 pounds this year.
I think it was 40. But 70 seems like unhealthy.
I mean, he was big. He was big last year.
Yeah, but like, he's not. I mean, look at him now. He looks skinnier, but he's.
Either way, it's a lot.
He did a good job. I mean, I'm. Last question: do you think we're going to see him at third base at all, or we think he's going to be stuck at first here on out?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. I would love to see it. I think that guy's super fun, so I'm excited to see him. Yeah. Okay, I have taken up a lot of your time tonight. This was awesome.
I have to go to a game. This is great.
I could do this every day, all the time. This is amazing. So is there anything before I let you go that anything personally you want to plug or anything you want to talk about for our audience of 5?
Oh, not really. This is my current favorite hat. Asahi's the Japanese Asahi were a Vancouver-based baseball team.
Cool.
In the 30s that my grandfather used to go to. So I went to the Japanese Cultural Center last time I was here in Vancouver, and they had these for sale, and I bought myself one. I bought my brother one. However, everyone thinks it's the beer.
I was gonna say that must be confusing.
So there's a lot of explaining that goes on while I wear that hat, but it gives me a lot of pleasure. So
and it's also a very classy hat. I like that color scheme a lot.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
It's also wool, so it's like very thick. It's like
a winter hat.
A winter hat.
It's for playing baseball in the snow because you're in Toronto, you're in Canada, so that happens.
No, this was really fun. Thank you.
RJ, thank you. This has been a delight, and we'll catch up again soon.
You got it.
Yay!
Oh.
Happy baseball season.
Follow along with interest. It's my new favorite YouTube channel.